let's get this motor back in the frame, shall we? Okay, swing arm bolts in. I think at this point we're going to put the bottom engine mounts in. So let's get set up for that. All right, guys, the motor's in. I didn't record any of, installing the bolts, nuts, stuff like that, brackets. It's just making, my videos are getting really long and I don't want to bore anybody, so. A lot of that stuff I'm going to skip over. But the motor's back in, swing arm bolts in, it's torqued down the bottom here. We got this lower motor mount in, that's torqued. And the front motor mounts are on, and those are torqued as well. And you can see I put plenty of grease in there so they shouldn't rust again. I put these engine protectors on here. They weren't on there when I got the bike because somebody had already tried to started taking the motor out. And then they quit when they got to the swing arm. But I put those back in. I don't have an oil filter yet, so I got to get an oil filter, which means it's kind of a pain because I got to either loosen this or take it off to get the oil filter in and out, but I don't know. I think they're overkill, and I'll tell you why, because they have Nerf bars on here, and with Nerf bars, you're not going to hit the engine anyway, but I guess they look cool, so we'll put them back on. I think that's it for now. I put the lower radiator hose on. You can see, again, there's plenty of grease on everything. Plenty of grease on that. I put this, I think it's the weep drain for the water pump. That's back in, you can see it. This hose is on. I put this on while it was still on the bench. And what else did I do? Oh, I gave that a little bit of a coat of paint there, make it look better, cleaned it up, got the rust off it. And these, I don't really care too much about. I'm just going to cover them with grease when I slide the Nerf bar back on, so painting those, I don't care. You're not going to see it anyway. I installed the clutch clutch cables back on. Man, I got to say, man, this clutch, wow, it's really hard to pull in. I don't know if it has like heavy duty springs in there or what, but I did get a new clutch for it, which is right here. And it comes with springs and everything. So we'll probably put this in its own video, standalone video. All right, let me put you in a stand and let's put the brake back on. So one thing I want to show you is when I first got this bike, the rear suspension hardly moved at all. It was super stiff. It didn't move at all. And I think it was because this swing arm bolt was seized, because now it's nice. We got nice travel. It's got nice spring back. We're in good shape once again with that. So as far as the brake goes, of course, plenty of grease. I put grease in that little groove there. And I also put Never Seize on the threads. So we're gonna just slide this in here now. There we go. So I put a piece of baling wire on there, and as you can see now, it's working pretty good. It might need some final adjustment here. We'll do that once we get the bike running again. All right, guys, I wanted to kind of go over. This is all the stuff that I replaced on this motor. Everything I replaced. This half, and you can see here, the connecting rod punched a hole through there, and there, and there. And the bearing was a little rusty. The crankshaft, obviously. Balancer, main bearing, transmission gear. There's another transmission gear. You can see how damaged that gear is. The main shaft, oil reed, piston and rings, main transmission bearing, the other 3 transmission bearings, the swing arm pivot bearings and cups and everything. And here's the other case. and you can see from looking at it that the connecting rod punched a hole through that, punched a hole through that, and punched a hole through that. And you can see all the bearings are still in it. So you know I replaced all the bearings. And these are the bearings that are original to the bike. And all the bearings that you see on the table here are the bearings that came out of the case halves that I bought on eBay. So just to give you guys a rundown, this is all the stuff I replaced in the bottom end of the engine. The top end was fine. And I replaced all this stuff. And now I have this. All this stuff is brand new. You see the crank. And everything looks good. I just kind of wanted to go over that with you guys real quick, just so you could get an idea of how much work and time and money that I've actually put into this project. And hopefully you guys appreciate it. All right, I got the new oil filter. I'll pop that in off camera. We don't need to show you guys that. I did the ring end gap on these. They're all in spec now. They're good. I had to fine tune one of them. It was a little tight, and we should be in good shape now. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the rings on the piston. All right, we're all in. Now what I want to do is I want to give it a little bit of a scratch there on top of the piston, but that's all right. I'm going to put a circlip in one side of this because it just makes it a lot easier when you're putting it in the motor. All right, clips all the way in. Good to go. All right, let's go over and get ready to install this in the motor. All right, piston's on. What I did was I flip it up. So there's an oil hole on the top of the connecting rod up here. And I like to, you can see it, I like to fill that hole full of oil and then put a bunch of oil around the connecting rod. And just gives it a fighting chance when it starts up, so it's not running dry. All right, I'm gonna slide the cylinder on now, and I'll come back when I'm done. All right, the cylinder's on. I'm gonna put the gasket on, I'm gonna put you in the stand, and I'm gonna drop the head on. So let's do that now. All right, we're gonna put the head bolts on now. And the service manual says you should oil them up, oil up the washers, and oil up the threads. And I guess this helps in the torquing process. So that's what we're gonna do. And put the washers on. All right, let's get ready to torque them. All right, torque specs are for 40 pounds. I'm gonna bring it to 20 with my torque wrench, and then I'm gonna bring it up to 40. All right, it's at 20. Let's crank them up to 40. All right, 40 all the way around. All right, let's mount the camshaft. And we're going to put this guy like this. We want to make sure the buckets don't fall out. The shims are already in. So we're going to come in here at an angle so the buckets don't fall. They shouldn't, because I have oil in them. So they should stay right up there. And if you guys remember, we bench set the valve lash on this so that we don't have to worry about it now. We know it's all set. And I do that on every motor. All right, let's get the timing gear on there. We'll put the chain on. All right, so at top dead center, we have these two. I don't know if you can see it. There's a mark here and a mark there. And there's also a line here and a line there. So these two holes, you have to look through those two holes there. And there's two lines on the cam housing. There's one here and there's one there. They have to be lined up with those two slots when I put this on, and the lobes have to be facing to the back of the machine. Well, I can tell you one thing, I'm not a fan of this design at all. I think it sucks. This is probably the worst machine I've had to put a cam in yet. There's just no room. And it only goes on one way. Cam's in. I put Loctite on those screws, holding the sprocket on, and everything looks good. So I'm going to oil this up real good now with my oil, and I guess you guys can watch me do that. So I'll put some oil all over everything here. It's not going to hurt, that's for sure. Some oil on the chain. Let that run all the way down. All right. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pop the valve cover on. There's just a few screws. You guys don't need to watch that. And I'll be back when I'm done. All right, guys. Progress has been made. I'm excited. The motor's in, fully assembled. Let me rotate it around for you and you can hear it. So it runs nice and free. We're in good shape. I need to pick up some motor oil for it. I still need to hook up the wires for the stator and the ignition and all that. Throttle cable, the carburetor. I'm gonna go through that in the last video, which will be the next video. And you can see we got everything in now. I got some of the lines. I got the temperature sensor in. I have some of the radiator lines on, some of the vent lines. I still got some electrical to do, and I'm gonna call it on this video, and there'll be one more coming, and that'll be the final video, and we will get this thing running and we will take it for a ride. It's been 17 degrees here last couple days, and I haven't been doing much on it because it's just too cold in my garage. But I came out here tonight and I toughed through it. My hands are freezing, so I'm done for the day, and we're gonna just finish this video here. And we still got a lot to do. We still gotta put the airbox in. We still gotta button all that up. I gotta put the exhaust on. I still gotta put the Nerf bars on. I still gotta put the chain on. I still gotta put all the plastics on. So we still got another full video to go, and hopefully that'll be it. So I'm gonna pick up some motor oil, put some oil in the engine, and we're gonna get this running in the next video. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you guys can catch the first start on this and actually see it finished. So I wanna thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, leave comments, do all those things. I appreciate them. I appreciate the comments, I appreciate the likes, and I appreciate you all watching. And I'm getting excited to wrap this thing up and get it started, and I hope you guys are too. So for now, we'll sign off, and we'll be back for one more video. We'll have this thing running, and we'll have it done. Thanks for watching.